Honorable members of the public, colleagues, friends and families, good evening. I am Dr. Hve I from United Kingdom. I'm sure some of you might have seen me in previous videos, but let me tell you, this is one of the most difficult video I have ever made. Rather, it's the hardest one. I'm not quite sure whether I should be making this video or not, but just wanted to keep you in loop regarding my updates in the given circumstances. Let me introduce myself. I graduated from National Medical University, Multan, Pakistan in 1986 and traveled to United Kingdom in 1990 for higher education, for qualification and experience, which I successfully achieved while working in Ireland and United Kingdom. I qualified my fellowship in surgery from Royal College of Surgeons of Edinburgh and Royal College of Surgeons of Ireland in 1996, and I had privilege to work in the United Kingdom for the last 30 years. In between, I worked as assistant professor and associate professors in medical universities in Pakistan. During working in the United Kingdom, I had crystal clear record with the General Medical Council. I had not a single complaint within the NHS trust I had been working. I had not any disciplinary against me. I had very good relationship with my colleagues, with paramedical staff, with my patients, and their relatives. I looked after my patient very well, and I cared about them, and I looked after them with my all sincerity, my skills and experience, with their satisfaction, and had not a single complaint against me prior to this complaint. A few weeks ago, I received a letter from the General Medical Council that they were investigating me for a couple of online complaints by members of the public with the allegation that I was spreading misinformation regarding the COVID-19. Number two, I was bringing disrepute to the medical profession. Number three, I was damaging NHS. And number four, I was spreading misinformation to the public and the patients. These allegations were very upsetting and shocking for me, as I never had any hint from the General Medical Council raising any cause of concern related with all these social media activities and the concern raised by any public member. I was given 4 working days to appear in front of the interim order tribunal hearing. This was weekend, and I found extremely difficult to engage any legal representative for joining me during the hearing process with the General Medical Council. Therefore, I requested GMC to adjourn the date for the hearing for a couple of weeks so that I should be able to engage a legal advisor and my representative to join me during the hearing process. However, my 2 requests were disregarded by the General Medical Council. However, I cooperated with the regulatory body to complete the process of the investigation. So I joined the hearing of the interim order panel myself, where I faced full tribunal of the General Medical Council, including the barrister and 4 members of the tribunal. During the hearing process, I came to know that there is a hearing bundle of the GMC consisting of 247 pages, which has not been provided to me prior to this hearing, which I had a legal right to have it. I requested for the hearing bundle, which was provided to me via email. I was advised to rejoin the hearing process after reading and going through that 247 pages bundle, which I found it extremely difficult and challenging. In fact, more confusing. This was like opening a Pandora box, which I was not aware of. I rejoined the hearing process of the interim order panel after 90 minutes, where they suspended my license to practice for 12 months, which came as a shock. And it was extremely detrimental to my professional, my personal, and my family life, having 3 school going children, affecting their livelihood and their education. Soon after receiving the order by the interim order panel, I lodged my appeal to the General Medical Council, requested them to reconsider my application regarding the 12-month suspension and the allegation made by the members of the public, whom I don't know who they were. I was not aware whether they were the groups of our opponents of our organization, which I'm chairing at 3 international medical organizations. They could be just an activists or the habitual complainants. But General Medical Council disregarded my request, and they have given me date for further hearing by the end of November, which is 6 months from the day of the decision, which was absolutely shocking to me again, being away from my work and from my patient and from my clinical practice, and also due to my family circumstances. It was not very encouraging for me to wait 6 months till the next hearing of the interim order panel. I might have made a mistake and in terms of COVID-19, which was in fact the early days when the pandemic started in the month of March, and I released some videos in my point of view, which I expressed on the public media. I totally admit that I had spoken about the COVID-19 according to my perception, my understanding, and I expressed my point of view, whether it was right or wrong. But I requested to the General Medical Council that was too harsh for my suspension for 12 months without conceding my 30-year service for this community, with a spotless record on the General Medical Council and with the NHS and with the health authorities. But that was actually not taken on board. I might have made mistake, and I can see that various world-renowned scientists, including Neil Ferguson, was the chief scientist for a scientific advisory group of emergency in the UK, had advised to the UK government with his biological mathematical model that there would be 8 million people rushing into the hospital for admission due to COVID-19, and 500,000 people would die in UK. On that basis, the entire NHS trust was shut down, and they were not entertaining the patients other than the COVID-19. All the elective admissions, operations, and the clinics, endoscopies, and the scans, and the cancer treatments, and the follow-ups were all cancelled. However, we maintained the services by providing the virtual clinics, and we followed all the protocol related with the COVID-19 as per guideline by the General Medical Council and by the Royal College of Surgeons and by the NHS, and we followed the principles and services provided by the trusts, and with all our dedication and with all devotion, and with and during I saved so many lives during that procedure, with treating emergency patient with or without COVID-19 at that time, with full protocol and PPE, without leaving any stone unturned. However, the biological mathematic model of Neil Ferguson turned out to be false, and he resigned from his job, and his apology was accepted, but my apologies had not been acknowledged and neither accepted. Secondly, I have noticed a couple of days ago the interview by Mr. Wallace in Independent, in the main media interview, and he has acknowledged that and said the UK coronavirus outcome has not been good, and he admitted that we go along clearly with our counterparts of the scientists across the world, and there is clearly a learning process with international partners. He added, it's very difficult to say where we stand at the moment, but it is clear that the outcome has not been good in UK. And Health Secretary Mr. Matt Hancock has ordered for urgent review with the coronavirus daily deaths calculated by Public Health Services of England, which is in the process. We all commit mistakes. It's all our learning process. Being a medical professional and scientific background, we always appreciate the second opinion and the peer reviews and diversity of thoughts, and logic is always helpful in innovation of medical field. That's why I would a request to the members of the public and colleagues to think about whether I have been targeted or not. I feel myself that I have been targeted. And why my 30-year experience has not been acknowledged. I had not a single complaint or black spot on my file prior to this incident. I might have taken privilege to use social media to address public, but that was purely to relieve the anxiety and stress, and to help out the public during the severe anxiety, depression, and uncertainty related with the given health crisis. So here I am, this is my situation, and I don't know where we'll go from here, but certainly I feel that it would have been nice if General Medical Council has called a meeting with me and we had a discussion around the table regarding my limitation on the social media with an advice or guidance which has not been carried out, and I should have been given full opportunity to participate in the GMC hearing process. and I should have been given full chance to have my legal representative, and I should have been provided 247 pages worth of GMC hearing bundle, which I had full right to have, which has not been provided prior to the GMC hearing process. And it looks like the course of justice has not been fulfilled by the General Medical Council, and I have been cornered, isolated, and suspended. And I feel extremely distressing and humiliating by this unwarranted attitude or act of the General Medical Council. However, I have cooperated fully, and I have followed all the rules and regulations by the General Medical Council. And let's hope for the best. Thank you very much for listening my talk, and I wish you all the best. Bye-bye.